Yo, what's going on, snipers, and welcome back to our Colorado Avalanche franchise mode. So we're up here in the Stanley Cup Finals for the first time since 1996, and if you're counting this being Colorado's second Stanley Cup Finals appearance. Otherwise, we're playing against the Boston Bruins. We managed to sweep Detroit somehow in the conference finals to get here. I'm not expecting us to be able to sweep our third straight series, but I do think we have an upper hand in terms of goaltending. However, offense is kind of similar for both teams. Only problem is we have Forsberg out with an injury currently still, and he won't be back for the rest of the playoffs, so we're going to still have to play good offensively without him, which means we're going to have to rely on our other lines like what we did last round, because our second line last round, they played really good. They had 9 points in the first game combined, and then I think they had another couple games where they had 2 or 3 points each as well. So I'm hoping that we could still play as good as we did last round, and hopefully our depth shows up here in this Cup Finals. So let's get to the Cup Finals, game number 1 on home ice. Let's waste no time. It could have been the Devils that we faced in the finals, but at least it's an easier team in Boston. I'm just not 100% sure if we could still beat them or not. So first period of game 1, and it's 2-0 us. There you go. Beating Jose Theodore on 7 shots as well. McBain and Lefebvre, so 2 defenders coming through with goals. Hopefully we can continue that here in the second period, and it's 3-1 for us. Fleury gets a goal, but Samsonov, so 2 short guys actually in that period, score a goal. So Boston's back within 2, and they have a shot advantage. Surprisingly, it's just been a good game so far from Waugh, which is what we need. He's the key to winning the series in the Stanley Cup. Third period underway. Can we take a 1-0 series lead, please? Samsonov pulls Boston within 1. He's got 2 goals now in this game. Final 10 minutes of this third period. Come on, boys, power play, and we don't score. Penalty kill, nicely done. Final 5 minutes. There's a goal from Sean Donovan, who also played for Boston, I think, at one point in time. Yeah, he did in 2007, I think. So we take game 1 4-2, and we've now won 9 straight games in this playoff. So McBain from Drury, who had a really good round last round, Lefebvre from Watt and Foot, Fleury from Sakic and Hayduk, and Donovan from Yell. So as I said it before this game, hopefully our depth shows up. It managed to show up there for sure. So Watt the first star, Samsonov the second star, and Fleury the third. Can we win our 10th straight game and go, what are we in the playoffs currently? 4, 8, 12. I think we're 13-2 currently. If we're 13-2, that's an insane record. So hopefully we can continue that here in game number 2. We won the President's Trophy during the regular season. We've been dominating all playoffs. Let's just keep it up, boys. First period, and it's 1-1. Milan Hayduk scores for us, but Hal Gill ties it up. Shots are 11-8 in favor of us this time around. Second period, and it's 2-1 for your Avs. Sean Donovan again. I'm liking that our depth is just showing up right now. We've had all our lines contribute here in the playoffs, and that's what makes a really good cup contender, I say. So it's 2-1 for us. We have the shot advantage, 23-16. Let's see what happens here in the third. Penalty kill, nicely done. Come on, guys, we need some insurance here. And PJ Axelson ties it at 2. It's not good. Final 10 minutes of this third period. Final 5 minutes now. And there's a goal from Chris Drury. Yes, Drury. I think he's actually... Is he not from Massachusetts? I think he's from, Massachusetts, if I'm not mistaken. Or is it from around there? But he gives us a 2-0 series lead and our 10th consecutive win in this postseason. So Hayduk from Drury and McBain, Donovan from Dineen and Dandenos, so the 3 Ds connect. And then Drury from Bullis and Sullivan. 3 stars, Drury, Patrick Waugh, and Donovan. Good job, boys. We are 2 wins away from the Stanley Cup, but now we're back in Boston at the Fleet Center, so maybe they play better on their home ice, so we definitely got to keep our foot on the gas pedal here and not let them have any chances. Game number 3. Come on, guys, let's continue to win these games for Peter Forsberg. I know we've had our injury troubles, but let's get a Stanley Cup for Forsberg this year. First period, and it is 1-1. Boston scored first. Eric Lacroix, who's on their fourth line, scores, but a late goal from Theo Fleury ties it at 1. Shots are 14-11 in favor of your Avalanche. Second period, and it's 2-1 Boston. And it's right. So that's their fourth line with both goals. We're down by a goal for a change. Hopefully we have a strong output here in the third. Come on, guys. Let's keep this winning streak alive. I know we've won 10 games in a row, but hopefully we can win another power play chance and we don't score. Penalty kill. Nicely done. And Joe Thornton comes through to give Boston a 3-1 lead. And it looks like the Bruins are going to win their first game of the series and take out our winning streak. But hopefully we could get back on it next game. So, all events, the only goal in that game for us was Fleury from Ozolinsh and Sakic. So I'm not going to change anything yet with our lines, considering that's only our third loss of the playoffs. However, if we lose the next game, I might make a couple to line up, even though it's kind of hard to do so, considering we already have one injury. Okay, so, and our AHL team is actually off to the finals as well, I think. Yep, our AHL team's in the finals against Boston's AHL affiliates, so that's kind of cool. So both teams' AHL affiliates are going for the Calder Cup at the same time as they're playing each other in the Stanley Cup Finals. I don't know the last time that actually happened in real life, but that's pretty cool. Good to see the AHL team doing successful down there. So here we go, game number 4. Let's take a 3-1 series lead, boys, and then have a chance to win the cup on home ice. That would be nice. First period, and it is scoreless, so no goals throughout the first 20 minutes. Shots are 12-9 in favor of the Bruins. Second period, and it's 1-0 us. Sandis Ozolinsh, the Latvian legend, makes it 1-0 for us. Let's see if we can lock this down here in the third. We need some more insurance, though. Power play. There's a goal again from the Latvian legend Ozolinsh, and it's 2-0, but Bill Lindsay pulls Boston back within 1. And PJ Axelson with a short-handed goal, god damn it. And that's a 2-0 lead that's been blown, and it's 2-2 now. Final 5 minutes of this third period. And a late goal again from Chris Drury, and we have a 3-2 lead, and we are going to take a 3-1 series lead, and we are 1 win away from our first Stanley Cup. Oh, Chris Drury, he's just been turning it up a lot. So Ozolinsh from Fleury and Dineen, Ozolinsh from Dineen and Fleury, and then Drury from Sullivan and Darmour. 3 stars in that game, Axelson, Ozolinsh, and Patrick Waugh. So we are 1 win away from our Stanley Cup, our first Stanley Cup of this franchise mode here in year number 5, I think it is. Come on, guys, you could do this. Win the Stanley Cup on home ice. That would be pretty amazing just to get those fans in it, but I don't really care where we win it. Let's just win it here. Game number 5. Can we win the Stanley Cup? Come on, we got to do it for our fans, boys, and for Peter Forsberg. He's up in the press box just in case. And Jason Smith makes it 1-0 for Boston. Final 10 minutes here of the opening period. Shots are pretty tight, and we're only down by a goal. And it is going to not stay that way as Sergei Samsonov with a late goal gives Boston a 2-0 lead. Come on, boys, we could do this. We could do this. Just get some goals in this period, and then we have a chance to take this game in the third. Power play for us, we don't score. Power play for Boston, and they don't score. Let's get at least a goal this period, boys. That will give us a better chance in the third. Final 5 minutes of this second period, still down by 2 goals. Penalty kill, nicely done, and we're still down by 2 goals going into the third, so it's not looking too good right now, but hopefully we have a strong third and win this game, or we could still win it in Boston, but Colin Forbes pulls us within 1 early into this third period. Can we tie it up? Power play. No, we do not score on it. Final 10 minutes of this third period. Come on, guys, you can do this. Get your fans into the game. Tiny bit left, and Boston is going to survive another day as we go to game number 6 back in Boston. So hopefully we can win there. So Forbes from Dandino in Watt was our only goal. So Patrick Wall once again just been playing really good in the playoffs. Hopefully our offense can come through here in Boston. We have 1 win so far in Boston. Let's see if we could win this game, because I don't want to go to a game 7 on home ice, because then anything could technically happen. So here we go, game number 6. This is probably the biggest game of the season, or definitely is. Here we go, real-time simulation again. Power play for us early, and we don't score. Penalty kill. Nicely done. Final 10 minutes of this first period of play. Shots are pretty tight as well in this period. And is anybody going to score in this period? No, it's going to be a scoreless first period. Shots are even 10-10, so it's been definitely a close game so far. Let's see if we could run away with it in the second. Come on, top line, or come on, Haydu, come on, Drury. Who else do we want to get going? I don't think Stefan Yell's been that good in this series, or in this entire playoffs. Final 10 minutes of this second period, and still a 0-0 tie. And it is still going to say 0-0 throughout 40 minutes, so both goalies playing really good. Shots are 22-18 in favor of us. We're going to go down to 4-time simulation, third period, just in case. Let's see if we could get the game-winning goal here in the third. We just need somebody to score for us, and then we just need to lock it down. First, Drury, I know you're one for the heroics with your late goals, considering you've had like 2 of them in the series so far. Almost halfway done in this third period, and still nobody has scored a goal yet. If we go to overtime, I'm going to have to let you guys watch, and if for some reason we lose, though, then we're going to have to go to game 7. Final 5 minutes of this third period. Time is still winding down. Shots are very tight still. And are we going to overtime? Yes, we are. We're going to overtime in game number 6. I'm going to intervene and let you guys watch, even though we might not win the Stanley Cup in this part. Hopefully we manage to, because we definitely need that Stanley Cup. So I'm going to let you guys watch, and I'll see you guys at the end of it.
Boston's quick on the draw. Score! The overtime winner! And the players spill over the boards to celebrate. The game, the shutout from the goalie, and the series is...
Okay, guys, so yeah, we just lost in triple overtime. I'm probably not even going to show most of the overtime, but like there was some really crazy plays like that. You know, overtime was like the most entertaining overtime ever. And then Sandis Olsland took a boarding call for 5 minutes, so that's how we lost the game, is on a penalty kill. And we did not score on 2 5-on-3 attempts, which is not good. So, hands to game number 7, and hopefully we could end Boston on home ice. Like, I might make some line changes. So, yeah, we're going to game 7. Hopefully we can win this. Let me see if I want to make any changes to our lineup. Let's move Peltonen up. Putbull is down. Putbull is again at center. Yeah, let's do that. Defensively, that is good. Yeah, I think we're good. So it's going to come down to game number 7. See if we could win this Stanley Cup. Or is our offense just going to dry up in those last 2 games, or last 3 games? Will it be the last 3 games where our offense doesn't show up? Game 7, home ice. Time is now. We got to win it for Peter Forsberg, guys. He didn't have a great season for us to lose the cup. Like, he had 102 points, and he's missed the majority of the playoffs. Like, I think only 5 games so far. So, come on, guys. Let's get a goal here. Power play. We don't score on it. If this is another overtime game, it's going to be insane, because like the overtimes in this, like I turned up the sliders before I did this franchise mode, and literally the game play is like so quick in comparison. So here you go, second period underway. And Boston scores. Kristich opening the scoring. That's not good. Final 10 minutes. Oh, you gotta be joking me. This team's gonna lose 3 games in a row. Marty McKinnis makes it 2-0. Are we losing in the Stanley Cup Finals now? After watching watching us lose in triple overtime. Fuck, we're gonna probably lose this. Unless we could get a couple goals like back to back quick. Power play, we don't score on it. Fuck. How did we lose to Boston, guys? Peter Forsberg expected better of us. Like, that's probably the reason. Just our injuries. And yep, we're gonna our offense completely dries up in the last 3 games, and despite having a 3-1 series lead, we managed to lose the Stanley Cup on home ice. Damn, that really blows. Patrick Wall played so good in the playoffs just for no reason, and we played really good in the the second and the third round. Well, I guess we're going to have to do our end of the season wrap up. So let's take a look at our player stats for the playoffs and then see who won all the awards. So Hayduk, Sullivan, Drury, yeah, those guys were really good. Sakic was kind of good, but he kind of slowed down. And then Ozolinsh, Kevin Dineen was really good for depth-wise, but just that injury to Forsberg, look, 1 assist in 5 games. Oh, I wish he would have been playing all the playoffs. Goalie-wise, yeah, Patrick Wall was insane. 934 save percentage. Well, maybe our AHL team could still win because they are in the Calder Cup Finals. Let's take a look and see how they're doing in the finals. Hopefully they beat the Boston's AHL affiliate. Currently they're up 2-1. Come on, Colorado, you could do this. Hopefully the Eagles could do it. So here we go, let's let's just go sim and see if we could get our AHL team a Calder Cup. First period, 1-0. Good job, guys. Rolf Kulp, our prospect. Second period, and still 1-0. Third period, and it is going to overtime though because of Darren Langdon. Come on, Colorado, you could do this. I know this episode's going to be probably pretty long because going into this. Come on, AHL team, you could do this. And there's a huge goal from Scott Kosmachuk, and our AHL team is 1 win away from the AHL, the AHL Calder Cup, which means at least we would have some success because our future looks bright. But currently we just lost in the Stanley Cup Finals. So let's see if we could win the Calder Cup. You could do this, guys. You could do this. First line and Carter, hopefully you guys good. First period, scoreless. Second period, 1-0 Providence. Third period, and we win 4-1. Great period, and we are the Calder Cup champions. So there's at least a positive. Good job, guys. Our prospect pool is looking bright. Carter looks like he was really good in the playoffs too. So let's see the awards now. Let's advance a day. It should say the award pop-up thing. So the Boston Bruins win the Stanley Cup, unfortunately, but our AHL team wins the Calder Cup. So let's take a look at individual player awards. So Boston Bruins winning the Stanley Cup. The Colorado Avalanche win the President's Trophy. So yeah, we won the President's Trophy, the Clarence S. Campbell, but we did not win the Stanley Cup. Art Ross going to Peter Forsberg for the 3rd time already. The Hart going to Peter Forsberg again for the 3rd time already. James Norris going to Brian Leetch for the 2nd time. Sammy Kapanen taking home the Lady Byng. I think it's Alan Ellis for the Vancouver Canucks taking home the Calder. Jose Theodore takes home the Conn Smythe. Screw you, Jose Theodore. Corey Schwab takes home the Vezina. That's kind of weird. And he also takes home the Jennings. Jason Smith takes home the Bill Masterton for the 3rd time. Okay. Frank Walzer takes home the Selke. Peter Forsberg takes home the Lindsay for the 3rd time. And Paul Correa takes home his 2nd straight Maurice Richard. Good stuff for him. AHL-wise, any players with us for awards? Yep, Ross Carter. getting the most valuable player in the playoffs. So we called him up or we signed him to a contract from the WHL. He plays only one game during the regular season, then goes into the playoffs to win the team the Calder Cup. So that's a really good story. And then anybody else? Nope, nobody else with awards down there in the minors for us. But good job, Ross Carter. How did Zubov do, out of curiosity wise? And I'm gonna apologize right now because I feel like this episode's really long. So wow, Strudwick, holy shit. Yeah, Strudwick's gonna be really good. Culp really good so far. Zubov had 8 points in the playoffs. And yeah, he didn't play any. Oh, he only played 2 games in the regular season. So yeah, he was also pretty good. Zadorov had 7 points in 16 games. Okay, good stuff. AHL affiliate. Okay, so now the final thing is to sim to the draft. We're gonna check the retirements. I know it's been a long episode already, but we need to do that. See who retired. Hopefully we don't lose Patrick Waugh this season, because I know he is probably getting close. So Calgary is gonna be the first, they have the first overall pick. Czech Republic second, and Chicago third. So technically this draft would have had, no, it wouldn't have had Ovechkin yet. I think the next year's draft would be Ovechkin's draft if it was like real drafting. So view retired players. Let's see who retired. So Wayne Gretzky finally hanging them up at 43, 335 points, 410 games played. No Stanley Cups though with the Rangers. So there you go. Wayne Gretzky. Ron Francis retires with the New York Islanders. Let's see how he played in the playoffs. I think he went to almost 1 Stanley Cup Finals. Steve Thomas retires with the Calgary Flames. Who else do we got here? Gary Roberts retires, 37 years of age. John McClain retires. Yeah, there's probably quite a few retired players in this. Igor Larionov retires as a 2-time Stanley Cup champion in this build. He was. He was in the AHL the final season though. Kevin Stevens retires. We eliminated him from the playoffs. Alexander Barkov Sr. retires. So the first Finnish guy, our captain for the Finns, I think. He didn't have a single playoff game. Guy Carbonneau retires as well with the Nashville Predators. Shane Corson retiring with the St. Louis Blues. There's going to be a lot of players that retire, and then eventually it's going to be all EA generated guys. Kirk Muller retires with the Canucks. Tocchet retires with the Ottawa Senators, but he was with the AHL affiliate. Al MacInnis retires with the Detroit Red Wings. Never got a chance at that Stanley Cup with them though. Christian Ruutu retires with the New York Islanders. Yeah, there's tons of guys. Bob Corkum with the Nashville Predators at 35 years of age. Pelly Eklund retires with the Ottawa Senators, also in the AHL affiliate the final year. Doug Brown retires with the Philadelphia Flyers. Who else we got here? Larry Murphy. So yeah, Detroit's losing a lot of guys, it looks like, which is realistic. Kelly Buchberger retires as a free agent. Didn't get to play much in the playoffs. Gary Sutter retires with 103 points. Retired with the Czech Republic. Darren Turcotte also retiring with the Ottawa Senators, also in the AHL the final season. Ron Sutter retiring. One of the the last Sutter brother in this. I don't think I even had any of the other ones. Kevin Dineen, our player who we signed for 1 year, who had a good run in the playoffs, retires. Sucks that we didn't get him that Stanley Cup though. Claude Lemieux, our former player, retires with the Finns. Sucks that we couldn't get him a Stanley Cup either. Mike Eastwood retires as a member of the Germans. Gary Galley retires back in New York. That's cool, because he used to play with them. Early in his career, I think. Wendell Clark retires with Phoenix. Tony Garnato retires also with the Sens. Damn, the Sens had a lot of current NHLers in the AHL. Huh. Brian Bellows also retiring with the Philadelphia Flyers. Bob Sweeney retiring with the Toronto Maple Leafs. Dave Reed retires as a free agent. He won the actual Stanley Cup in 1999, not in this build though. Anybody else? Bob Probert retiring with Phoenix. Was in the AHL the final season. Rest in peace, Bob. Sean Chambers retiring with the Edmonton Oilers. Tommy Elbeling retiring in Finland. So close to where he's from because he's from Sweden. Peter Svoboda retiring with the Tampa Bay Lightning. Tony Twist retiring with the New York Rangers, the AHL affiliate. Mike Sullivan, who's the head coach of the Pittsburgh Penguins, retiring with the Finns. He was in the AHL the final year. Chris Luongo retiring with the Florida Panthers. No relation to Roberto. Ron Stern retiring with the Los Angeles Kings. I apologize if this is boring for you guys. Landon Ferraro, Joachim Anderson, Ken Danico retiring with the Finnish team as well. Interesting. He wasn't with New Jersey final year. Anybody else? Greg Brown retiring at 35 with the Los Angeles Kings. Anybody else now? Adam Burt retiring as a free agent. So he didn't get to play the final year. Anybody else? Oh, Dmitry Mironov also retiring as a free agent. Hadn't played since 2020-21. Mark Bergevin retires with Buffalo. Obviously the current GM of the Montreal Canadiens. Blair Jones, I think that might be it for offense. Let's just go to the bottom just to make sure though. Oh wait, here's another one. Mark Tenorti retiring as a free agent. Get to play at all this season. Anybody else? Or is that it? Hopefully that's it. Damn, there's still a lot of players retiring. Damn, there's so much. Holy crap. Yeah, there's a lot of retired players because I'm not even halfway down the list yet. Oh, these guys all played no games. Okay, goaltending wise, any big retirements for goalies? Grant Fuhr hangs them up with the Ottawa Senators, 174, 99, and 10. Really good goalie. Mike Vernon retires with the Los Angeles Kings, also pretty good goaltender. Kind of small though. Shintalenkov retiring with Detroit. He didn't get to play much in the NHL. Ken Reggett retiring as a free agent. And that's it. Let me just make sure these guys never played in the playoffs recently, because I'm keeping track of playoff stats as well. There you go. Mike Vernon as well. He would have played, one game in the playoffs last year or this year. And Grant Fuhr. There you go. So anyways, guys, that is going to do it for this episode of our Colorado Avalanche franchise mode. I'm sorry if this episode was really long. I don't know for sure if it is because I have to make edits to it. But anyways, let me know what you guys think we should do in the off season. I know we have really good prospects that might be making a jump. Who do you guys think we should let go? What do you guys think we should go after draft-wise, like position-wise? Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.